All right, let's take a look here on page 159, and we're going to do some things that are a little bit different. If you are watching this during the year of COVID, I tried to do a simulcast on this and do some different things and realized that I had made some mistakes along the way and probably made things even more confusing than they needed to be. So we're going to start over and we are going to proceed with this and kind of get what I'm wanting you to do along the way. So let's take a look here at our I can statement, and that's a great place to start. We're going to use the strategy of drawing a diagram to solve multiplication problems by drawing a bar model. Okay, so what does that necessarily mean? Well, let's just jump right in. 3 groups of students are taking drum lessons. There are 8 students in each group. How many students are taking drum lessons? Now, you may quickly be able to recognize that what we have right here, all right, we have 3 groups, we have 8 students, and then we are being asked how many students are taking drum lessons. You know, this is just a simple multiplication problem. This is 8 times 3, which equals 24. But let's see what that looks like. Perhaps maybe we didn't know that. Perhaps we need to see it with this bar model. So what do I need to find? I need to find how many students are taking drum lessons. All right. What information do I need to use? There are 3 groups of students taking drum lessons, and there are 8 students in each group. So how will I use information? I will draw a bar model to help me see the total number of students. All right. And because we already know how many we have up here, it'll be kind of easier to see this. So complete the bar model. All right. Write 8 in each of the boxes. So we had 3 groups of 8. So here's group 1, 2, and 3, and each one had 8 students. Okay. So since there are equal groups, I can multiply 3 groups with 8 in each group is going to give me 24. So there are 24 students in all. Okay? Very good. All right, let's take a look here on the next page. With this problem right here, 12 students in Mrs. Taylor's class, so we'll go ahead and get right here, want to start a band. 7 students each make a drum. The rest of the students make 2 shakers each. All right, and I guess we need to make sure we include the each right here. So each. The rest of the students make 2 shakers each. How many shakers were made? All right. So what do we need to find? We have a few things here that we need to get taken care of. The first thing what we need to find is, first we need to find how many students made the shakers. And then we need to find out how many shakers those students made in all, I think is a good, kind of a good place to start. If we have to make some adjustments, that's fine. So how many shakers were made? That's good. And then how many shakers those students made in all. What information do we need to use? Well, here's some pretty important information. We had 12 students. All right. Of those 12 students, seven students made the drums. And then the rest made 2 shakers each. And I think this right here is going to be the key, the rest. We have to know how many. I think that goes up here to how many students made shakers. Okay? And then how will we use this information? I think we will. Well, let's just see if we can't figure this out first over here, and then we can make this happen. All right? So we have 7 students that we know that made the drums, and we have 12 total students. So if we were to take the 12 minus 7, we're going to get 5. So we have 5 students that made the shaker. And I think that right here, we'll keep with this yellow here. That's going to answer the rest and the how many. All right. Now, we have to take these 5 students, okay, and we can go ahead and get that represented right here. So we've got right here and another one and another one and the final one. So what we have done is taken the 5 that's right here, these 5 students, and now we're going to make a new display here, all right, a new bar model. So what we do know with these shakers right here, we got to figure out how many are made. Well, each of, right here, the rest made 2 shakers each. All right, we've got, here's 2, there's 2, 2 right there, 2 right there, and 2 right here. So these 5 students made 2 shakers each. So how many did they make? They made 10. All right, and that's going to answer the how many shakers did they make in all. And we can change that colors here. So how many shakers did they make in all? That is going to be the 10. Now, here's what I'm wanting you to get out of this. And it's going to seem complicated, but I want you to take this whole process and turn it into a math problem. All right, so I'm going to back the zoom out just a little bit so we can see everything. So what we needed to do, all right, is to first of all figure out how many students were making the shakers. So what we had to start with were 12 students. And then we subtracted the other 7. Okay, 7 of them made drums. All right. And actually, what we can do right here, we'll just say this is going to be the number of students. We'll call them shaker students. Okay. how many shaker students, and we were going to multiply that by the number that they made, the number each made, and that total is going to be the total shakers. So let me show you how we can get this. Uh-oh, don't go too small on me. There we go. Let me show you how we can write this into an equation. Okay? So, how did we find the number of students that made the shakers? Well, first of all, we knew that there were 12 students. And we knew that 7 of those students made the drums. Okay? So the 12 minus the 7 gave us the 5. That gave us the number of the students that were making the shakers. And each of those students made 2 shakers for a total of what? Well, let's see how this works. All right. This right here is the key concept I was wanting you to get yesterday. All right. And so if you're able to jump to this point, that's great. If you still need just use the bar model, right, that's okay too. All right. Because what we see right here, 12 minus 7, that's equal to 5. And each of those 5 students made 2 shakers, which equals 10. So this right here is the going above and beyond way of finding this answer. This right here is what all of this up here looks like. Okay? So how many shakers in all did the students make? They made 10 shakers. How do you know your answer is reasonable? Well, you can just simply say, because Mr. Bean said so. But you could also say that you skip counted by 2s until you skip counted by 2 5 times. Okay, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So how will I use this information? See, this right here is a whole lot better than doing what I'm going to have to do right here and type this out. And you do not need to write this out. But let me just show you, okay? First of all, you'd say, first I take the number of total students and subtract the number of students making drums to find the number of students making shakers. Then I would multiply that number by 2 to find out how many shakers were made. Now, I don't know about you, but this right here seems a little bit better I mean, this is wordy, but it is the same thing. It's the same thing as this right here. Take the total number of students, that's 12. Subtract the number of students making the drums, that's 7. To find the number of students making the shakers, that was 5. Then I multiply that number by 2 to find out how many shakers were made. Okay? That is a huge jump that I'm wanting you to try to get, and um, I know we can get there. All right? Get ready for the next example here in just a bit.